Tarot. Whew. What a time. Sometimes I feel like your mouth is a little bit locked and loaded, and I feel like this week is exactly that. This is going to be for the Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus signs of Aries. Take what resonates with you, toss the universe what does not. As you can see, we just did a clearing of your energy, smudging. We're going to do that with the singing bowl as well. Take that deep breath in and then exhale whenever you feel so inclined to do so. That's just going to help you balance your energies, set your intentions, prepare for the messages, okay? Peace, love, health, and wealth, Aries. Whew. While I was meditating on your energy, your cards sort of came flying out here. We did a little bit. We'll jump into that in the tarot in a second. There is a little bit of a sense of no more of that silent martyr coming through. This is a divine intervention that's sort of happening for you, and not to you. Here you have divine intervention card coming out right out the gate. 28, and it's get ready for a miracle. You're in the midst of divine intervention. This could be course correction and redirection kind of energy is sort of what I feel like. You also got divine channel coming out here as well. You're a divine channel. You work with your angels and guides to deliver messages that assist others on their spiritual path. Now, if you are, that kind of energy, a healer, in light worker in some way, this is you kind of understanding that maybe even no matter what part of your life you're starting to understand how you have that ability to affect others on a huge grand scale. Financial freedom, wouldn't we all love to have a lot more of that? So this is coming in, but this is indicating that it's 64 as well, but you may be feeling trapped here in regards to the amount of money that is currently flowing into your life. We all are, a lot more money going out than coming in for a lot of us, and especially with the economy worldwide, we could all be focusing a little bit, on our financial situation, and you're really trying to get to that sense of financial freedom here, working, tooth and nail. Remember to, keep equal balance there. This is Healing Cocoon of Light, number 55. That is a master number for you. And your angels and guides come to you now and surround you in a healing cocoon made of light. You've got tons of energies, speaking to the angels and guides around you. So you could be watching for signs of synchronicities this week as well, Aries. And then onward and upward, number 43 here for you. And it says let go of the past so you could be present and create the future you desire. Beautiful messages there for you, Aries. Truly opening yourself up to that energy and where you're kind of needing to address to go forward. Sometimes I feel like it's not your own, it is your own. You're just kind of dressed up in leathers and lace here in some ways, and I feel like you could be understanding that in some ways. We're going to take a look at your domestic and home life, your fears and desires, and we're also going to take a look at your romance and friendships, as well as hoped for achievements, any obstacles or unexpected chaos, what the immediate future looks like, and lastly, your good fortune for the week. And then we'll break that all down with a clarifying energy. So what's coming in for Aries and their home and domestic matters for the week of the 19th to 26th. Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus signs of Aries. All right. We're going to be coming into Aries soon as well, so it's interesting. We have Knight of Swords coming in. This is Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. Quick moving action with that. It's fastest moving of all the knights, and this is you kind of getting motivated towards something. Now maybe you've been lack of sort of motivation in the recent past, and that could be indicating that onward and upward. You're sort of letting go of the past, you're looking forward. What are your hopes and fears here? Alright, a judgment card coming out. This is that inner calling, something coming to you, an awakening of some sort of energy or being, something that's maybe you put down or stopped paying attention to. This is kind of that judgment, sort of judgment day of the, where you're looking really at all the if you've been silent for some time in your relationships, work, energies, this is that real dynamic for you where you're no longer just going to be sitting as that silent martyr. You've got something to say, I feel like, and it's coming this week. We're taking a look at your friendships and relationships this week for Aries. You're being motivated by that, you know, just sitting silent too long. You have something that you really want to express, and I feel like you're going to be expressing it this week without a doubt. You have the Hierophant card coming in. Taurus, this is, you know, that coming together energy. It is all about tradition, so this could indicate marriage or impending marriage, even engagement in some ways. But coming together and tradition, so that is coming in your friendships and love situations. So you could be in one way or, you know, collaborating with some work colleagues, or in relationships. This could be you guys coming together in a, you know, in a very traditional sense. What's coming for your hoped for achievements for Aries? I like that you're following your inner, whatever has been inner calling you. This is time of transition. Six of Swords coming in. This is a rite of passage. I like it. Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. This is you, you know, this is your hope for achievements. That you're going to transition into this next stage, you know, without so much of holding on to that past, right? But I feel like there's a sense here of, again, something, your mouth is a little locked and loaded. There's no more silent martyr, but I worry that there's a tenseness in this energy for some reason. There's a holding on to something. Could be an indication of that heavy heart here as well. So we're going to take a look at what obstacles and chaos. Okay, well, I like it. Obstacles and chaos is the Nine of Cups. Now, this is because I feel like satisfaction is what you're, you know, trying to achieve here, right? We're all trying to achieve that Nine of Cups moment. But why it's in your obstacles is because it's a lot. You're striving too hard for that moment of satisfaction, like this pinnacle moment, this epiphany where you're going to feel and know all. That isn't the way it necessarily happens, and you could be spending your whole life waiting for that pinnacle moment, and when you're kind of living it, there is no pinnacle moment to, you know, this sort of happiness that you're looking for. You're waiting for something pivotal to happen. It's interesting to see. We're going to take a look at what your immediate future is here. Got that Queen of Cups, supportive energy. I like it. So your immediate future definitely has, you know, people supporting you. This is your own emotional balance as well. You're in a real positive flow of energy. And I feel like you are going to get inevitably the good fortune that you see. Let's see what Aries' good fortune for the week is. Six of Pentacles, sharing. So I feel like, yes, there's going to be a time where you're giving and taking. Could be receiving. But this is an interesting energy, the only pentacle you have on the deck. But I like that this is your good fortune because you're going to be giving and receiving. What you put out there, you're going to get back in. You have the Four of Pentacles, prosperity on the bottom of the deck, as well as that Knight of Cups, imagination. You have a real power of creation here. And this is, look at that. I just noticed a heavy heart on the bottom of the deck there. And I was saying there's a sense of a real heavy heart. Time to nurture those emotional wounds. That's exactly what I mean. This is a time of understanding that it is necessary to nurture them, not just bury them, but nurture them. Oftentimes we, you know, assume that just by forgetting and letting them go, that we have healed them until they come, you know, and work their way up in a fanciful way in the future. Or the present, to make shit, you know, complicated. That's when you realize you haven't healed those wounds. Let's clarify what that Knight of Swords for Aries is. Clarifying that Knight of Swords for Aries. Yeah, I got the Two of Cups. So it could be around love. There could be that motivation to find love or be in a deeper connection, but around a sense of, you know, that is coming in your home and domestic life. You're driven to make something work or succeed here, or even, you know, to find love in that successful balance. And I think that's, you know, you're ready in terms of that. Can I take a look at what, can we clarify Judgment for Aries, please? Clarify Judgment for Aries. Yeah, I've got that Five of Cups. So in reverse, so this is poverty mindset. You know, this is despair, kind of not a sense of fairness, but it is in reverse. So I do like to see that because you're looking past the pain. Like I said, you're really starting to let go of it. You're flipping the script in a sense. You know, you're starting to see what the pain had a real purpose here. Can we clarify the Hierophant, please, for Aries? Now, you could, again, be coming together with somebody in that traditional sense, or, you know, that could be with a Taurus energy, but there's a sense of really coming to collaboration there. You have the Three of, like I said, as I said, that Three of Cups in reverse, you know. You need to join together, but there's a sense of whatever, there's a reluctance here, maybe by your partner. I feel like you are trying, you've kind of extended that olive branch. You could be being met with a lot of sort of, you know, aggression, or somebody that's not really open to this, I feel like, for some of you. Can I clarify that Six of Swords, please? That could be what's setting that, you know, you into that transition, that, you know, rite of passage moment. Sort of understanding that, you know, whatever, you know, this was, if it was a relationship, that, you know, one came together, maybe it's marriage, that there's a sense of imbalance there. Yeah, the Tower card that comes out in reverse. I feel the Tower card is going to come out, I like it in reverse, because, and that's coming under this transition. So this is going to be, you are transitioning from, you know, I feel like a relationship or a career path that is, you know, did recently end for some of you. And it was something that you put a long time in together, you know, sort of, you know, a vow to create, whether it was a job or it's a marriage. This is something that has recently crumbled, and then you're trying to start, you're struggling to go onward and upward. That Tower in reverse says that you're rebuilding from the, you know, the rubble. You will find satisfaction. Can I clarify that Nine of Cups? But this is going to be a time where exactly that heavy heart, you know, looking at the emotional wounds and sort of tending to them really and wholeheartedly. The Ace of Wands coming out in reverse. You are passionate, driven energy, but it's coming out in reverse because your satisfaction is relying wholeheartedly on, you know, focusing on your what is right for you. Don't try to move too quickly from it, right? It's important to build and rebuild and move forward, yes. But don't try to move through this pain so quickly that you're not tending to the emotional wounds, right? We have the Page of Swords coming out in reverse. It could be information. I feel like it's a sense of being a little bit on guard, a little bit not trusting. Which I feel like is, you know, a little bit sort of understandable in considering, you know, recently what you kind of went through. Clarifying that Six of Pentacles for Aries. Yeah, Temperance in reverse. Almost everyone except for the Two of Cups is upright, so, are in reverse. So you're definitely struggling to find that balance, that equilibrium here. And you have the Seven of Swords on the bottom of the deck in reverse. You know, there's a betrayal. You're mourning this betrayal, this page, this sort of energy that just came in, swift moving to stir up the shit pot. I don't feel like they offered a lot in terms of love or anything else. There was a sense of real struggle to go forward. And Aries, this has been restricting you so much so that you haven't been able to see how to go forward. In your home life, you have this Knight of Swords coming in, and I feel like this is that active energy that's needed, but it is associated to the air sign of Gemini, but it's a bit of a whiz, right? This is, you know, you're not content right now. There's static here. And I feel like it's true that there's a little bit of lack of patience that is causing some tricky moments here for you, but it's possible that this could be, you know, I feel like who's maybe operating on that, again, what I said this whole time, your mouth is locked and loaded, and I feel like this is, you know, mouse is operating before the brain engages in some ways. And I feel like you're about to run, you know, head on into a situation where a level of you know, mindfulness there is recommended. It could indicate that there's some hot-headed moments out of, you know, when things, you know, are said rashly. This is possible that someone maybe is acting out of character and there's a situation that's kind of left you a little bit perturbed. And I feel like right now hold back in any way, right? Don't walk into any confrontations here. Take that deep breath, get a second opinion. It will give you some perspective. But just before you go in there, blowing your top in terms, in because the Two of Cups comes out, it could be a lover this week. Somebody that you feel passionate, you're going to find a little bit hot-headed energy, and you're going to feel a little bit of restriction, and there's no more silent water. You're just going to let them have it. Be mindful, and watch your words so that you're not saying anything, you're going to wish you regret later. That's never good. So your hopes and desires, you have this awakening, this decisive with this Judgment card. This is a really good energy that to be your best self here, Aries, it's time to step up to that higher level of consciousness, right? What have you learned on your journey, right? Tap into that wisest, most spiritual form of your intuition here and your intellect. You could be close to understanding your sort of inner self, right? Your past experiences, even those painful ones, they have led you to this moment where you can sort of step forward and leave that hurt behind you. You've been taking on that ostrich position for some time, and I feel like you may experience that light bulb moment where it's time to reevaluate and improve matters and pull your head out of the sand, right? Keep talking, if you have to your partner in your relationship, keep talking to your significant other. If you have one with, a few tweaks and fresh understanding, your love can move into a higher level, right? This is a period of adjustment for you. It could feel a little bit stressful, but it's going to lead you to what is best for you. And I feel like you really understand that. It's going to come with a moment of despair. What you're going to have to let go of here. And it is onward and upward, but not with a sense of, oh shit, this is going to hurt a little bit. And I feel like it's time to move on. You do know that, Aries, but what has happened can't be changed. So you have to let go of what no longer serves you emotionally and open up to new possibilities that are literally right in front of you. And in romance and love, you have the Hierophant coming out, traditional. So this could be you in a sense of tradition, following that sense of tradition. You are, tried and true, right? And I feel like that is part of who you are and what makes, you great. But this is a sense of the importance of kind of learning, taking it slow and steady, searching for some authenticity and true quality here. If you're forming sort of new worldviews, I feel like this is a fundamental, you're looking at the real deal and not any false energies as well. These are tried and trusted traditions and spiritual practices that you follow and live by. That's truly authentically you. And again, it could indicate marriage for some of you as well, but you're gaining knowledge and you're having a conversation in a way that is truly beneficial to you and understanding. And you could be understanding that, okay, this is not necessarily what I thought it was going to be with that, this partnership or dynamic, and that maybe this isn't necessarily best for me. Collaborations and working with your partner isn't necessarily your thing right now. You are kind of working through some things alone, and I feel like that's okay. You do need to creatively express your outlet and have those moments alone so that you can understand your own train of thought, and it's never a bad thing. We all like them. That Six of Swords coming out, like I said, transition, Gemini, Libra, Aquarius, get ready. It is time for you to go through this transition. It's, like I said, rocky, a little bit painful, but it's going to lead you to a rite of passage moment, one that is really, truly beneficially yours. This is departure and acceptance in some ways, but you're moving from one set of circumstances to another, right? The good news is that you're moving into a much more of a tranquil situation. After, there's been a lot of ups and downs, I feel like recently, and you are looking for that peace. There's a little bit of trepidation and sadness, of these changes, right? Maybe you're moving houses, you're feeling sentimental, waving goodbye to colleagues that you love, right? But your making is essential for your growth right now. It's as a person and for your future success, right? Perhaps you can sort of cushion this change with a getaway, a spa vacation or something. But in love, this could indicate you're also healing from a breakup, or you could be making up for some of you. But you're definitely positive change, steady progress into a more settled situation. You're rebuilding from this Tower moment that's indicated where, I feel like for some of you there was a destruction of relationship here, and it definitely changed your view internally on something, right? I feel like don't resist this change. Even if you see this change as an unwanted, Aries, it is important to let it run its course. The change is serving this as an opportunity for deep transformation, and it'll ultimately lead to your Nine of Cups, satisfaction, you wish fulfillment, you know, Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces energy. It is coming in right after the Tower. I like to see that because this is your moment, right? You know, after, you know, all the pain and the blame and the shame, the universe is naturally gonna sign, you know, kind of give you up what's meant for you, right? And, you know, good things do come. You can feel something emerging here, I feel like, but you're uncertain what form it's going to manifest into. Just keep manifesting your thoughts here. You may keep your idea a little bit private right now. You have a lot more confidence in taking it forward when you kind of see something start to work out, but you don't want anybody running away with it either. Again, this Queen of Cups is a supportive energy coming out for you. This is what's in your immediate future, and I feel like I like that. That is a really good energy, because with this Queen of Cups, this is really understanding all the emotional processes. You're really coming through the healing process. It's a great thing to see here, because this is intuitive nature, right? This is, you know, perhaps an energy that you're sort of, it's time when you feel it's important to be logical and objective, right? This is telling you that it's time to trust your feelings, your sixth sense. And in love, this can be incredibly, you know, warm and meaningful, but you need to reconsider boundaries to prevent your, you know, partner from leaning on you a little too much. But your heart will be the best, you know, barometer when it comes to decisions here. And I feel like you know this well. This Page of Swords in reverse, you're on guard to it. You're not coming in, you're not letting anybody kind of whisk you away with some fanciful thoughts here. And I feel like you're definitely in a sense of, yeah, like on guard. You're not going to be taking any bullshit with this energy. You're holding back from also expressing your own inner truth this week, especially in any public way, but you're preferring to express your thoughts and opinions privately or anonymously. Let go of the fear and shout sort of, you know, your energies here from the rooftop. You let go the pain of the heavy heart here. The sharing Pentacles energy, it's time to embrace what's coming in for you and focus on the, you know, the wealth that's around you and going forward. That is your good fortune, right? So you have this Temperance card, Sagittarius in reverse, coming out, because I feel like right now it's kind of saying, hey, focus on you, center yourself, come back into alignment with who you really are, and focus on your own inner peace, not what's going on around you, because that's not what's important. Focus on your inner peace. You're not, you know, sometimes it's not our own fears. It's dressed up in leather and lace. It is what it is, right? So until next time, namaste.